Blue Apron, take back dinner. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Liars Club. I'm Felicia Michaels.
And I'm Jessica Wellington.
And what we do here at the Liars Club, if this is your first time listening or watching, is we ask two of our comedy friends to come on. We ask them to tell two stories. One is the truth, one is a lie. And then we all together, including the people that are playing along live on the live stream, figure out who is telling what lie. Right, Jessica?
Yeah, that's what we do.
And the greatest thing about our podcast, it is brought to you by Blue Apron. Come on, Christmas is over. You're sick of the grocery store. Why don't you go to Blue Apron and have food delivered to your house? If you do that and you go on the site and you go to like the code box, put in Liars, you'll get 30% off. Right, Jessica?
Yeah, you were so intense. Get Blue Apron.
I know. I'm trying to be professional.
You're doing great.
Okay, please introduce our guest.
I will. Will, am I looking in this camera?
No, you dummy. You're looking at that camera like I told you 25 times.
If only we'd gone over this beforehand.
I know. Go ahead, Jessica.
All right. So we have some great gentlemen here with us tonight. We have this guy's been on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, Comics Unleashed, Comedy Central, movies galore. He's a paid regular here at the Comedy Store and does all clubs across the country. This is Darren Carter.
Yay.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Darren Carter, the party starter. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my God. You actually did it right out of the gate. I love it. I thought maybe second story you'd bring it up, but there you go.
And I'm so excited to have this guy. We have been trying to get him on forever, but he is a grouchy thing, and it's hard to get him down here. He
can still storm off, Jessica. I mean, we know that, right?
Yeah.
He has a YouTube page you definitely should check out. It's like no other. The Holtzman Zone. He does the Dead Air podcast there. He also does Instagram and updates on his YouTube that are like safety updates that are like no other. They're epic. He has been at the Comedy Store here for years. He is a staple here. We love him. This is Brian Holtzman.
Yay, Brian Holtzman. We're so excited that you're on, Brian.
Thanks for having me on the podcast. And I liked your credits so much. I tried to get them for myself. It's the podcast is Dead Air, and that's on the Red Band Network.
Death Squad.
Is it Death Squad? And and my Instagram post, you can find any ones that you missed on the Holtzman Zone on YouTube, and so subscribe if you feel something.
That's right.
Something you want
All
to do.
right. Well, there you go. Also, playing along with us in studio today is one of our on-air producers. He's normally in the box behind there where all the gear is. Please give it up for Mr. Michael Evans. He will be taking the place of Austin Walker, who's on the longest vacation ever.
Fucking ever, dude.
Come
Oh,
home,
Jesus.
Austin. God damn it. Anyway.
But he is playing along on the live stream. He's commented. He's in
nice.
the car.
Oh, he's here today.
Oh,
Well, thank
nice.
Hey,
you.
Austin.
God,
Yeah.
yeah.
What mental hospital is he in?
Yeah.
Anyway, and also taking Michael's place in the studio, outside the studio in the box, the control room, I guess we'll call it, is Kyle Anderson. Give it up for a funny guy, Kyle Anderson. Thank you for stepping in, Kyle Anderson.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yes, we thought we would get someone that is looks like Michael and Austin had a baby.
Well, how long have you been sitting on that? That's a good one.
Yeah.
They brought me in just for that joke. I'm fired. She put it
All
through.
right. Did you put yourself on camera and wave?
Yeah.
All righty. And I'm so glad to see the both of you. I didn't know you guys were real life friends. I mean, you know, you have your club friends that you never fucking hang out, but you guys hang out in real life, right?
Brian, I saw him at Cantor's, and I said, dude, you're the kind of guy, I said, if anybody needs to be on social media, it should be you.
Uh-huh.
I said, go on Instagram and just do something. And do you remember what I told you, Brian?
Darren, yes, I do remember what you told me, Darren.
Do you remember what the script is that I sent you last night?
I was very reluctant to get on social media because I thought it had to be a certain quality.
Uh-huh.
And Darren Carter told me over three pancakes, he said, Holtzman, it doesn't even have to be funny. And when he said that, I said, I can do that. I have no problem. You know, all the barriers were taken down when he said it doesn't even have to be funny.
I told him this. I said, because I forgot what I told him, and then he called me back and he goes, "You've changed my life. You did it." And I go, "What did I tell you?" I forgot that I told him, and I said, "Just do one every day. Just do something every day." I go, "Put it out there." I go, "It doesn't have to be good. and it doesn't even have to be funny. And once I said that, he goes, the light bulb went off.
Oh,
right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Totally, and you're getting new lingo. I like it.
Yeah.
I never used to use the word totally.
yeah.
Oh, really? Really?
But I get a kick out of watching.
I think we were around when that word was originally fucking put out there.
Totally.
Totally. All right, so there we go. And so what we do here is we ask you to tell two stories. They both cannot be true. You can't pull the thing at the end like, oh, two stories were the same. They
Have you
were
had that
both
happen
true.
yet?
Oh, 106 times, and then now it's like a death ray. If you do it, we're like,
Yeah, don't ruin the format of the show.
Right,
Funny's
right.
funny, but don't try to be funny at the expense of the show.
That's exactly
That's why
right.
people hate
Right.
comics.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we were very worried about you with this one, Holtzman.
Oh no, I'm gonna. No, we're good. We're
She's
good friends.
kidding.
I'm good.
She's teasing you. She's teasing you. All right, but since we're gonna do it, Darren, why don't you kick it off for us?
Okay, I will. And can I plug my podcast, or should I wait till the end? Or?
Well, you can. We'll talk about it at the end for sure.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. He's got nice.
Whipped.
Here we go. All right, I'll do it. I know. I'm married. I get it. All right, here we go. All right, so my first story, I'll go with this one. Should I tell you like the title of it, or should I just tell you the story as it goes?
Just tell the story. And by the way, if you're
Yeah.
hearing any of this bumping going on, they're putting a new carpet in the original room,
Oh.
or it's the boner of Christmas past or something is going on up there. But for sure, I think it's the carpet they're
I was like,
putting
hey,
in.
I
so
think
just
someone
know.
stole my act up there. So I was on stage, and after I get off stage, and that's kind of what I do. I do like that. I throw that stuff in there. Darren Carter, party starter. I'm Darren. Call me Darren.
Do you have the flashlight in your pocket right now?
I sure do.
Didn't take long, did it?
Everyone do it. Go.
Darren Carter. Okay, you get the idea. All right,
Okay.
so I get off stage, and this is probably 10 years ago, maybe 12, and this guy comes up. Is that you snoring?
No,
Come
no,
on,
it's
man.
not. No, I'm awake.
Yeah,
I'm awake.
Yeah, liven it up, party starter.
There
Liven
I
it the
was.
fuck up.
I know. I'm starting a slumber party with Brian here. But yeah, so I get off stage, and this guy tells me, he goes, hey, I'm Snoop Dogg's cousin, and we would love for you to perform at our family reunion. And
What?
yeah, and so I performed at Snoop Dogg's family reunion 2 years in a row. And I told the guy, I go, listen, I don't really, I talk about Snoop a little bit, but it's not very flattering. And he's like, nah, Snoop will love it. It'll be great. And at the time I would do I'd be like, I don't really even do it anymore, but I would do Snoop Dogg impression. I'd be like, well, yeah, what's cracking? It's the D-O-double-G, the big Snoop Dogg. Baby was a virgin. That's what she said. So I gave her some, can I curse on here?
Yeah.
I gave her some Hennessy. She gave me some. I bumped her on the floor. I wouldn't mess in my bed. And little half daddy put his thing on her head. Yeah. So I'm doing the face. I'm sea-walking. I'm getting into it. And I remember at the time I did this thing. I said, wouldn't it be cool if when the rappers get old, see how they turn out? Snoop's 75 years old. Gerbitol is a pill that saves me. Arthritis is a case that they gave me. Rolling down the street to play bingo, sipping on some prune juice. With my mind on my bladder and my bladder on my mind. Nothing but a pee thing, baby. Medicare is a label that pays me. And Depends is a diaper that saves me. Don't cut my microphone.
By the way, Brian, it's better when he does this. When he tells a story. You know what I mean? Like I'm enjoying this.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So I get there, and it was the funny thing is they said don't curse. He's like, my grandmama's out there, so I had to keep it clean, and I did my performance, and it went so well. They
Who
asked
said that? The cousin?
Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
himself.
the Snoop Dogg said to
Mhm.
you, "Don't curse
Yeah.
because my grandmother's
Yeah,
out there."
and so it went so well. They said, hey, you want to play flag football? Tomorrow we're going to be at the picnic. We're going to do a picnic at the park. And so I went back the next day and hung out with them like a third time. And it was great. I got pictures. We hung out. It was awesome. I don't smoke weed, so that didn't happen. But it was great to I was nervous.
He probably wasn't smoking weed because his grandma was there.
Honestly, about 20 people all went, or maybe more, went to the bathroom at this hall that we were
Yeah.
at and came out, and it was like, yeah. You know? That's my first story.
Okay,
Do
great.
I go into the second
No,
one?
no, no, no.
Okay.
That's That's a lot to unpack there. What is the thing when you first met Snoop that you were surprised by? That you know what I mean? Like sometimes when you meet people for the first time that are super famous, there's one little thing you're like, oh, I would have never guessed that. Like he's shorter than I thought, or he's taller than I thought. What is the one physical thing, or even doesn't even have to be physical, that you were surprised by Snoop?
How much everybody, even at the family reunion, wanted pictures with them, and
Uh-huh.
how, like, because there was at least 100 people there. Oh, multicultural. It wasn't just black people. It was like everybody,
African American.
African American people, and well, I don't know. Like maybe they're from the islands. I don't know, but they I felt like everybody was really friendly and cool and wanted to get photos with them, and he was very friendly and outgoing. And the next day when we were at the park, like some like cholo types were like Snoop. And he's like, hey, what's cracking there, say? Like, he was just open to everybody. It wasn't like, I thought I was really taken by how outgoing he was, I'm sure but see, now that I've seen him and I see him on TV, I see this, I can kind of tell, like it comes across on camera, his jovial type of
But
nature.
you wouldn't have necessarily taken that if you had never met him in that way.
Yeah, because, sometimes there would be like the, if you've ever seen like footage or pictures of him being pissed or angry,
Right.
you're kind of like, oh, I don't want to meet that part of the whole sea walk type
Right.
crip thing or whatever. And so I didn't see that when I was there, the reunion.
Okay. Nice. What do you think of this story, Brian Holtzman?
Uh,
Some horse shit, isn't it, Brian Holtzman?
I don't believe it because when he said that the performance went well, then I knew that this story perhaps is a lie.
Okay.
Did you ever used to date black girls?
Well, I've been married for 22 years, so let me think back.
Is she white?
My wife is Armenian. Does that count? I don't
Yeah.
know. Happy Armenian Christmas, anybody out
watch
there?
your cell phones.
January 6th. The credit cards. Come on now. Give me the cards.
His wife's a hacker.
Oh, really?
She stays home all day and hacks.
No, he's saying because she's Armenian.
Oh, I see. What do people online say there, Michael? Is Austin piping in?
Austin's not yet. Everybody's saying you should smoke some weed. To people are surprised that Holtzman has been subdued so far the way he has been. They've never seen him like
I'm
this.
following the rules of the program.
Damn right,
Yeah.
he's a good guy.
He's
So
about to
please
let loose. Yeah.
Can you write back and tell that person?
You're writing
fuck
back
you?
right now.
Okay. Yeah. What Holtzman
What do you want me to do?
said.
Stand on my head? I'm behaving myself today, scumbag. Is that what you want to hear?
Okay. All right. Well, then let's move on to your story, Brian.
This is a story that happened, I think, in the middle '90s. I can't be exactly sure, but this was a flight.
The 90s are knocking.
My step niece, I guess. She was working in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, with a company that was doing the airbags. She was, I guess, training. So I was going to take a flight to see her, and so I get on the plane, and it's one of those overseas planes where it goes on for quite some time.
Okay.
So I got
The type, them overseas planes.
I got talking to one of the flight attendants, and I'm not going to mention her name because anyway, we kind of hit it off. There was a bit of a connection, We talked
in the 90s?
I think it was 92,
Okay.
and
That's before I knew you.
we hit it off, and we were talking in the back, and she was just over a relationship, so she was kind of, and I was I don't know if I was in a relationship or not. I really, I kind of indicated that I was available as well. Anyway, we hit it off, and we talked, and
Yeah.
we just had that connection. You know that connection when you feel with somebody you don't know, but you feel that feeling in your loins.
Loins.
I don't know
Yes.
if women have the same feeling of certain secretions, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, so
Secretions.
we met. We talked in the back of the galley, and we just seemed to,
Galley?
in the back of the
Yeah,
galley.
that's what it's called.
That's what it's called. I
Yeah.
thought that was a boat.
No,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's called the galley.
Have you ever been on an
No.
airplane?
Yeah, we were both in the Air Force.
And so when they show the movies at night and people go to sleep, it gets kind of dark in the cabin, and what have you. And I went back to get a drink, and she said, "Can you help me?" She was having trouble getting the paper towels in the bathroom. You know,
Is that code? Is that airplane code?
I don't know, but I said, "Sure, I'll help you." And before I know it,
You were helping her.
I was doing I joined the club, what do they call it, 3 Mile High
The
Club.
Mile High Club.
3 Mile High Club.
And it was an instant connection.
That's awesome. I kind of zoned out for a second. No, because I was getting into this fantasy. Was she or
The
truth?
story's not over.
I know.
Okay, yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
ask a
why is
question.
she
Ask a
Okay.
question. Ask a question.
You can ask a
we do
question.
that.
Yeah,
Was she-
we ask
Even
questions.
before the story's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, quickly ask your
Was
question.
she a
Derek.
flight attendant or a passenger? I forgot.
I thought I made it clear that she was a flight attendant.
Dude, that's even better. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So we made some it was hot. It was real hot. It wasn't terribly long, but it was hot.
It's hot because it was a small space.
Well, you just know people are.
She enjoyed herself.
Yes,
you
she
guys
did.
that are listening could just see Brian's face.
And then we heard a knock on the door, and we got ourselves together and we opened up the door, and it was one of the flight officers.
Whoa.
So one of the passengers, perhaps
Hey, there's 2 people in the back.
doing a 3. So it was terribly embarrassing. I just went back to my seat, but I think she lost her job at the airline,
Wow.
and
Wow.
and we stayed in contact for a little while. But after the embarrassment of what happened to her and her career, it wasn't a long-term relationship. But it was certainly one of the best overseas flights that I've ever had. Because usually you're in the bathroom doing it yourself. To have somebody else doing it with you of an opposite sex is
what kind
is
of what
fascinating.
position did you use? Did you have to use?
Oh, I just stood her up next to the sink, and we standing up. As awkward as that sounds, there was
Right.
you can't. You got a limited space.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Did she have a skirt on or pants on?
No, she had a skirt.
Yeah, it was the 90s still, so
Uh-huh.
probably still wore
Right.
had to wear skirts.
Yeah. Huh.
Jason Marino wants to know if you finished.
Of course, Jason.
No. Oh my God, that was so creepy though.
No, I took my sperm back to my seat, Jason. Waited till I was safely on the ground before I jacked off.
Worth it.
By the baggage claim.
Thanks for the question, Jason.
Any other questions we got shaken there?
Did you hook up with a lot of women on the road?
What road are you talking about, Jessica?
The comedy road or
No, I don't do the road.
But you're not known as
Sorry.
the great Lothario at the Comedy Store. But you keep your business kind of private, right? I'm surprised that this happened because you're pretty respectful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but
I mean, when you're
I
off
am-
stage,
I'm a human being. What was it?
Especially back in 92.
Felicia.
Felicia.
Okay.
I'm a human being with needs, just like everybody else. Okay.
Okay.
hey, that's why I just I'm on Tinder now.
Are you?
I did my first Tinder.
How'd it go?
Great.
How much is that?
It's free.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, we're trying to teach Jessica that it's okay if you meet someone and then not fuck them on Tinder.
But it's okay if you do.
Yeah, it's totally okay if you do. Kyle, what do you think of Holtzman's story here?
Well, first of all, I think it was awesome that you mixed up 3 Mile Island and the Mile High Club. That was the 3 Mile High Club. That's really my biggest hang up with it. I feel like anyone in the Mile High Club definitely knows the name of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can see Holtzman not
Yes.
knowing it.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
But
true.
no,
If
that's a
there's
good point,
if there's
though.
one person in it who doesn't know it, it's Holtzman. All right.
And
Well,
you
that's
don't
my
even
thought.
know me.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's move on to Darren's second story. I like your story, Holtzman. It's a good story.
Thank you.
Solid
Good.
story.
That's good. Maybe around 2004, I get an email, or my agent gets an email, and he says, "Hey, would you like to perform in Washington D.C.? It's some sort of fundraiser." And I said, sure. I basically, I don't even care. Like, I don't even know what political party it was. I was just like, I'll do it. I saw the money. I'm like, I'll do it. I fly out there. I stayed at this Mayfair hotel.
Who cares if anybody gets an abortion, right? You just want to get paid.
Exactly. I was like, so weird, right? I just was like, yeah, whatever, I'll do it. So I get there. And at that time, see, it was back when I did the impressions, and I would do Bill Clinton, and it was you must have still been in office, so that kind of tells you what year it was. And I said, when Bill Clinton gets out of office, I'm trying to remember how this bit went. I go, it's going to be like those losers that graduate high school, then come back and drive around the high school at lunchtime. And I used to do this Bill Clinton thing. I'd be like, like it's a lowrider. Sup, I'm back, biatch. Big ups to my boo, Hillary. That's my baby's mama. And I remember all I remember is the main punchline. Hillary's got my back, and Monica's got my front. Anyways, I did that thing. It killed. And here's the crazy part. I get to meet Bill Clinton at the after party. And I got a photo with him. And for the longest time, it was my MySpace profile pic. Me and Bill Clinton.
This is a good strategy that you're employing here.
What is it?
Because both times you've met somebody famous. So,
yeah.
And I like the way he slips his
Act,
comedy
yeah.
routine into the interview. That is just wonderful.
I was inspired by Chris Spencer. I
Never.
watched the one with Chris Spencer, and I'm like, I like that.
All right. Any questions yourself there,
You
Michael?
do a bit about being a flight attendant on the world travel, don't you? Is that one of your bits?
No.
Oh,
I kept that story to myself until this
I thought that was one of your
podcast.
bits. Oh, well.
All right. Anyone have any thoughts there?
Yeah, Kenneth Lofgren's never seen anybody carry napkins in their jacket pocket before.
that's so adorable.
Yeah, well, they were Starbucks napkins. He just came from the Starbucks. I think that's kind of reasonable.
Right.
Nobody. Before we got feedback finally on his first
Okay.
story too. We're kind of fresh on that next one. I think people aren't really believing the flight attendant's story, but they need another story from Holtzman to know for sure.
Right.
Yeah. I think okay. Let's move on to Brian. Will you adjust your microphone just a little bit up? I just want to make sure we get every piece of your juiciness.
I think he told two lies because he mentioned again in the second story that they liked his show.
No, actually, the second story, the one with Bill Clinton, you didn't say they liked it.
Yeah, Brian.
What did you say they did? They say somebody enjoyed it.
Everyone enjoyed my show.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody likes acupuncture too.
All right. Let's start with your story. Your second story.
My second story, it takes place in New York City. It involves my brother Jay and I. We went to a hotel.
Is this the gentleman that I met a few months ago when
Right.
he came to visit? Nice man.
And this was again it's recent. It's a recent story that happened, and we checked into a hotel. We were very excited. We found a hotel in New York City with a swimming pool, which isn't easy to do. So we were getting our swim trunks on, and there was a knock at the door, and this woman came in and wanted to use the bathroom
In your hotel room.
in the hotel room. Then another one. Then another one.
What?
Then another one. Jay had been smoking cannabis and drinking alcohol, and he was just had no problem. And I figured it's kind of unusual, and I didn't think anything of it. But then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then it hit me like a bolt of lightning. I said they could be getting diseases in there, they could be stealing, they could cry rape, and it enraged me that we were taken. Who lets anyone use their freaking bathroom in a hotel? No one. You tell them to go downstairs and use the bathroom. And I got enraged. And I told Jay, and he was like, So I ran after Jay, and I grabbed him around his shoulder area, and he bit me.
He bit you?
He bit me in the forearm.
Were you choking him? Because
And,
when you said shoulder area.
He said he was afraid for his life.
Really?
But I wasn't choking him. I didn't even punch him. I was just kind of like manhandling him. But I'm not qualified to manhandle.
I don't understand why these women were knocking on your hotel door to use your bathroom.
Have you seen his shoes?
What?
All right,
were
that's
some-
it. That's it. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of this fucking podcast. And
Well, because could they smell the weed? Is that why?
No, I just think they were just young. I don't know if you can say this with the Me Too. Just young, stupid girls.
Where were they
is that
coming
okay to
from?
say that?
Did they think you were cute or something and wanting to get to know you?
No, there was a knock on the door. They came in. We had an altercation. I screamed them out of the room. Jay bit me, and I didn't know what to do. I was mortified. So I just fled and ran away and took the train to New Jersey. I met Jay the next day, and when I saw him at the party, you know what he did to me?
What?
When he saw me?
He hugged you.
He went like this.
Ow.
Yeah, snapping the teeth. That is a weird fucking story, Holtzman.
Now, why did you go to New York with Jay in the
We
first
were
place?
celebrating in New Jersey, Christmas, not Christmas, a pool party.
Uh-huh.
And
Celebrating a pool
so
party.
from Long Island, we went to New York, and then the next morning we were going to go to New Jersey and join the rest of the family.
Now, was Jay downstairs saying to all the chicks, like, hey, I got weed in my... Yeah, was he doing
Right.
that?
No, we were not molested at all by anybody downstairs. in
No,
the
no, I'm
lobby.
saying, did Jay say to any of these young girls in the lobby, hey, if you want to join us, we got weed upstairs? Like, why would young women
Right.
come and knock on your door to do weed?
Yeah.
This is part of life. Why do we know? Why did you come in a L.A. Dodger shirt when baseball season is over? I
Yeah,
mean,
but he looks good in blue.
Yeah, and Jay told me to. Your brother.
These are all
He said
great
he-
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come
Right.
in, knock on my door.
Yeah.
I'll
Huh.
be waiting for you. I just don't understand why these women. How did they know it was your hotel room? How did they know to keep going back to that one? There's several doors in a hotel. How did they? Did they see you at the pool? Did they see you out? Did they say, "Oh, those guys look like they'd be fun to party with"? Were you ever fun to party with?
that is the story, Jessica, if that's your real name. And that's the story. Why all these questions are unanswerable. I don't have answers for these questions. I'll be honest with
But
you.
then when I see you and your brother together, you guys get along pretty nice. Do you guys have a history of violence together? Or this was just something that happened out of the blue? Is this a not
No, we had another problem once on Long Island. We had
the
an
same trip?
We had an argument in the living room of my sister's house,
The same
which
trip.
caused her to get leukemia. That's how bad the argument was. Yeah,
And
her
that,
leukemia was caused by the argument Jay and I had.
And who told you that? Who told you that? That your
That's
arguments.
what Terry says.
That's what Terry, your sister, says.
No, we get excited. We don't know. My sister says it's like she says you're like a dog with a piece of meat.
Uh-huh.
You won't let go.
Uh-huh.
When you something gets at your what do they call it? Crow?
Yeah.
Craw?
And your craw.
Is that it?
Yeah.
And so
So I know that you go out and eat a lot because you always post food pics and you doing all sorts. Did you and Jay go out and eat in New York City? Where'd you go eat? Do you
No.
remember or
no, we never got a chance to do
Because
anything.
you went to Jersey.
I got assaulted and
Uh-huh.
bit, and I ran away. I didn't know what else to do.
Where did you run away to, Holtzman?
Like what? Did
I
you go to?
Jersey,
went to
went to
New
the
Jersey
train.
Transit and stayed in a hotel in Bellamar.
He was mortified. He fled.
You know, Bellamar, New Jersey, near Arisbury Park.
Okay. All right.
I think this panel doesn't know what to think. Huh?
Oh my God.
I'm not as dumb as I look or act, and
That's we
not
don't
as
think you're-
handsome as I think I am.
I
Hey,
got a
you-
question. Did
okay,
you
yes.
just run out with? Because you said you were in bathing suits and swimming. Did you just run out of the hotel in New Jersey in your bathing suit? Did you change
Oh
clothes?
yes,
grab a suit?
Darren
Did you
grab your
Carter, party
suitcase?
starter.
No. Did
Those
you,
are beautiful eyes. You have blue eyes, don't you? Those
not just my
contact.
out of
Yeah. So
season sweatshirt.
so you ran away and fled in your swim trunks is what Darren is
No,
asking.
I didn't know what else to do, but I just packed my bag and put my clothes back on, and I fled. I just fled. I didn't.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's what they tell you in counseling. Just flee.
That is what they tell you.
It is? It is it?
What else can you
Like
do?
to
if-
walk away.
Get out of there.
There's a lot.
Well, that explains you.
You
Is
know,
that true? Is that what they say?
what are you
That's
gonna
not
do
what they- that's what they say to
after you get bit? What are you gonna do? Discuss it?
Oh, yeah.
But how much did you rough your brother up for him to have for him to bite you? You must have really been pretty aggressive to him.
Well, he was in the corner. I backed him into a corner, and he was he couldn't move his arms or anything, and I was just so aggravated with his attitude towards these intruders. And
These intruders.
he said that, and it's my own fault. See, in mental hospitals, those people are trained how to deal with people like my brother Jay, and I had no training, so that's why I got bit. There's a special way you have to handle people. I mean, he's bipolar. He's a Vietnam veteran. He stays in on Halloween. He likes jelly beans, scotch, marijuana, whatever he can get his hands on. He's a product of the 60s, the Vietnam War, you know.
So, because of all this, do you think that maybe he was the one that invited these women over?
Can I say one thing? I'd like to object because why am I being questioned more than he was questioned about his story?
because you're complicated and he's a simpleton.
Yeah, he answered.
When I'm home, I don't want to run errands or have to figure out a meal plan, especially because I have kids. That's why Blue Apron is a great solution. Their chef-designed recipes are easy to follow and give you a balanced, delicious meal. Blue Apron is a quick and easy way to make high-quality meals that everyone can enjoy. Use promo code LIARS to get $30 off your first order. Blue Apron, take back dinner.
All right, Darren's first story, which we're labeling Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg posts that Snoop Dogg's cousin says he wants Darren Carter, the party starter, to perform at their family reunion. He did it 2 years in a row. He did the Snoop Dogg impression, the face, the sea walk, all of it. Snoop Dogg was very outgoing. He takes pictures with everybody. He's a nice guy. Not everybody at the family reunion was African American. Good times abound. Story number one. Story number two, this is maybe in 2004 or when Clinton was still in office. We weren't sure which. You met Bill Clinton after performing at some sort of political gathering. And that was also good times. Not much more to it.
Well, I can't imagine that Snoop Dogg would invite you to the picnic the next day. That kind of sounds like bullshit.
Well, if you do a good impression of Snoop Dogg, maybe you would. you
Maybe, do you think they invited you to play football because they just wanted to cream your ass?
Cream.
Darren?
Oh, am I supposed to answer?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Do we just keep? I don't know. Do we just keep going with it, or do we?
Yeah, don't-
No,
don't-
we're
don't
going to take a
reveal it
vote,
yet.
but we're, I'll ask you when to tell the truth. But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So Snoop Dogg himself didn't invite me to the picnic. His mother did. His mom was like, "We're going to be at the park." Da da da. I forget the name of the park, but it was somewhere near Long Beach. And by the way, when I get to the park, Snoop Dogg was about an hour late. And then it was really weird because I don't know if you ever do a show and then people are like, "We should hang out," and then you actually show up.
yeah,
It's
why'd
kinda-
you show up like that?
She invited me, and I was like,
When the mom invites you, though, that's kind
Yeah.
of like, ugh.
I know. Well, it's his mom, his cousin, and I knew a few other people, and I was like, all right, I'll go there. And then
So now 3 people invited you, not Snoop Dogg,
Well,
which it seemed like
no,
what was happening in the.
just his
when
mom
you were
invited me, but I recognized the other 3 people because I had his cousin and his cousin's mom. I knew them, and then his manager guy, this white guy that would smoke.
So,
weed.
how do you feel being replaced by Tony Hinchcliffe then as Snoop Dogg's friend?
I'm good with it. I'm cool with it.
You all right?
Yeah,
I mean,
All
after
right.
2 years?
yeah. It had its run.
And if you were at this event, and Bill Clinton was at this event, and you're saying that, right? That Bill Clinton was
Yeah.
at this event where you made a joke about the Monica Lewinsky?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't-
think.
yeah.
I think that's a lie. I don't think
Yeah.
you would do
I
that.
don't know
think
if
you
he
would have the wherewithal to know to shut the fuck up.
I don't know if he was at the show. I know he was at the after party.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if he was at.
Oh,
actually
now
at
you're
the
not
show.
sure where Bill Clinton
Yeah.
was.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. You're one to talk, Holtzman. That he's not sure now? There's so
I
much
beg
that
your
you did.
pardon.
There's so much you
My
didn't tell
brother
us.
bit me and
There's
I ran
so
out the
much.
street.
I saw
I was wearing my Speedos. I don't know why they were knocking on our door, Hillary. It's my brother Jay's fault.
Oh shit. All right. Any other comments online? Let's take a fucking vote right now.
Snoop, true, Bill, lie for a lot of people, and I'm in the same boat. If
I
these are going to
think
be like the
so.
same story, then it's like just who seems more likely to have encountered Darren Carter, the party star. I
Yeah.
think Snoop does. You know.
Yeah, I think if you were a comic, even if you're just starting out and you get into a situation where you're in DC and you're doing an act in that kind of crowd, you would. How big was the room? That's a good question.
200 people.
200 people.
Yeah.
And you didn't ask like what party it was, like if it was going to be Democratic or conservative, or you didn't ask any of those things.
No, because it was something to do with lobby and I don't
So it
even
wasn't
know.
a club. It was like a.
Yeah, it was like at a ballroom.
So
at the,
murdering
at the,
unborn infants doesn't bother you.
as long as that check clears. No, I shouldn't say that. But yeah,
Yeah.
It was in a ballroom where?
it was at the Mayfair Hotel or the Mayflower Hotel.
In DC?
Yes, it was some famous hotel that I stayed at.
Yeah, that one's a lie. I think the second
Mayflower,
story is a lie.
Mayfair. I don't know.
I think the second
It was
one's
near
a
the
lie.
DC Improv. I know that because I walked by it.
What park were you at with the Snoop?
Once again, I don't know. I know you take the 710 to the 605, and that's as far as I remember.
You're a dirty liar.
Which one do you think is a lie? Which one do you think is a lie?
Oh, the second one.
The second one
Definitely
for
a lie.
sure, right?
I
Yeah.
think Bill Clinton's lie. I'm going to go with Snoop being the lie.
Just
Oh,
to be
really?
different,
Just
unanimous
to
is
be-
kind of fun.
No. I don't want to.
Jesus, don't we know that about her? What do you think, Kyle?
I think the Bill Clinton one lacks the details that he had for
Why?
the Snoop
Not
one.
really, because he just said it was the Mayflower and all this at the hotel.
He didn't
And he
even-
didn't know anything about the Snoop event.
The White Devil.
Yeah.
In my defense,
what
can I
they
just
call
say
him.
one thing?
Sure.
I felt a little bit rushed on the second one, so I was like, well, let me keep this one shorter, because when I went to too much detail, Holtzman was making a joke like he was cutting my mic and snoring, so I was like, let me just cut to the chase.
Yeah. You oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
So,
All
no,
right.
it's not your fault.
Let's take a vote. So I'm going to say the Bill Clinton one is a lie. I think pretty much everyone but Jessica is with me on that, right?
Right.
Pretty much.
Snoop is a lie.
All right. Which story is the lie?
Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's the fuck.
Sometimes
That's
you got to take a gamble, and you don't always win.
He stayed at some famous hotel.
Yeah, the Mayflower, the Mayfair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like the Nina, the Pina, the Santa Maria. I couldn't even think of it.
Yeah.
I could not think
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then let's move on to Holtzman's stories. Let's do the quick recap.
All right, Holtzman's first story in the mid '90s. He was going to see his stepniece who's making airbags in Malaysia, and he hit it off with a flight attendant. She was newly single, and Brian had no idea what he was. So he went to help her with some paper towels in the bathroom and joined the 3 Mile High Club. It was hot, but not terribly long.
Yeah.
Oh, can you do that again, though? Flight attendant is true. Okay.
Holy shit, it was hot. It was hot, but not terribly long. Someone ratted him out to a flight officer, and she lost her job with the airline and her career, but it was overall a fantastic international flight experience, maybe the best Brian's ever had.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Second story.
He's in New York City with his brother Jay. They're going to celebrate a pool party in New Jersey.
Fucking said, and I even reiterated it, and he said yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
A woman asked to use the bathroom in the hotel room, and then another woman, and another woman, and another woman.
And then another woman. And
A lot
then
of
another
women.
woman.
He's totally enraged by this. They could be getting diseases in there. They could be doing a lot of bad things.
It's like a lightning went to my head. I got instantly mad. I said, "This is bullshit, Jay. They could be giving us diseases and stealing our stuff."
Now at this point, he's enraged. Brian puts paws on Jay, hands around the neck, so Jay bites him in the forearm. He was afraid for his life. Mortified, Brian fled to the train, to the New Jersey Transit, and took the train to New Jersey.
You know, the only thing I would think that would even possibly make that story a little bit true is when you said, and it's fucked up thinking, but when you said I grabbed him at the shoulders, right? But you did this. I grabbed him at the shoulders, right?
Well, you know what I think he did is that he did this. You know, he'd put his forearm against his chest.
Uh-huh.
So then he went down and bit him.
Yeah, how did
on the
it
arm.
physically work out? Can you explain that part one more time?
And maybe give us a visual.
Did he draw blood?
Can you do it? Can you practice on Darren?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you guys reenact it?
I just
You backed him
I
up into a
just
corner.
went towards him, and then I kind of got around him, and then his face was close to my arms, and then his face
he's
went
up
right
like this,
down and
right?
bit me.
Yeah.
I can see how that would work out.
So you say you were celebrating a pool party. Why do you guys celebrate pool parties often, or
That mean you'd be partying every day.
like
You know,
why
it
that?
was a summer gathering for the family.
So it's a
Like
family
Snoop Dogg
reunion.
does.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
Darren performed actually at the pool party.
And that's when my niece discovered at that party she had laminoma
Yeah. Luke,
at the pool party.
What's that?
It's a form of cancer.
it's a citrus melanoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
She wasn't feeling too well, and that's the day she found out at the pool party.
At the same party that you guys argued so much you gave your sister leukemia?
No, that was
That was the second
That's
one.
another
they was talking about
time.
that
Oh,
they
that
got
was
into
another
it.
time?
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of cancer.
Cancer good.
Like, I can't tell if you're lying or not. It's driving me crazy.
I know. I just don't understand. And another, and another, and
Yeah, and
another.
another, and another, yeah.
But
yeah.
he could be adding comedic effect.
Right. How many women by number actually showed up?
Oh, there was at least 4. It could have been 5.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes it a little more plausible.
But why would they go to your room? That just makes
I
no
know.
sense.
I know.
Yeah. Why would they knock on out of all those rooms in New York City? They're going to knock on your and Jay's room.
Where was your room located? Was it close to the pool or where people were coming in that made it convenient?
Next to the
Yeah.
bar. Like, where?
It was. We had to take an elevator.
Were they wearing bikinis, these girls?
No,
They weren't swimming?
no.
Okay.
But you guys were upstairs swimming at the pool
We were just getting our stuff ready
to go swimming.
to go in the pool.
Yeah.
Just getting all the stuff.
Get a towel.
Uh-huh.
And that's when
Sunscreen.
the door heard the knock at the
And
door.
how long ago was this?
This was this has got to be 10 years at least. I mean, it's hard to say,
Yeah,
but
because when you first started saying the story, you said it didn't happen too long ago. Like it
well,
sounded
what I
like
meant
recently.
by that is it happened in adult life.
Yeah.
Were you a ladies' man back in the day?
Oh, I like rape. Can you say that? I don't know. Can you say that?
You can say it, yeah, sure.
Give me your number. I'll follow you home and climb through your window. You can do this the easy way, or you can do this the hard way. But you gotta give it up. You gotta give it up. What kind of question is that?
Because you were saying that you had sex with a flight attendant. I want to know if you did that kind of stuff all the time.
Well, I
It's
like
in your character.
My sex drive is just like any other normal functioning male sex
And
drive.
how
I
do you
think.
define that? What's normal functioning male sex drive? How
For
do you
you.
define that? Yeah.
It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
I never pass it up. I don't think anybody would pass it up and give me the
Oh,
opportunity.
something you guys have in common.
I don't know if you can say that. Can I say that?
You can say whatever you want. All right. What do people say? Well, how do they want to vote?
Raver Bastion wants to know if Darren Carter's afraid of Brian Holtzman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people are. I think people are mostly skeptical of that second story.
Yeah, because it had made
the
no
way-
sense.
I was
Winter pool
skeptical of the
party.
first one, and then I heard the second one, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know which one to believe.
And after the
Yeah.
second one, it's not that I don't know which to believe; it's that I can totally see this dude fucking on a plane now. Ever since
I
that
know, but
second
you know what? I have a
story.
problem with that. I have a problem that it was the flight attendant.
What do you mean?
I just have a hard time believing that a flight attendant would do it if they are in the air all the time. This is a
You don't know
regular-
anything about flight attendants.
Maybe that's why she thought she could get away with it.
Yeah, but they would do it.
flight
when
attendants
they
are
got
like,
out, hit
are
the
like
ground,
comics.
you know?
They like what?
They like sex.
Flight attendants are like comics.
they like sex.
Well, I mean, I don't know Brian for many years. I do remember seeing you around. You're a handsome fella, you know, and back in the day,
I've
even
had a lot
more
of work
so.
done. I've had a lot of work done. After the accident, they did the best they could putting this face back together.
I'm gonna say the first story is
The flight attendant story.
a lie.
Wild.
Flight
You're
attendant
wild. It's
lie.
true.
You know, because I just feel like that fucking second story is just kooky enough to be true. It's just
You know, I'm with you because I think that Brian is a family man.
Yeah,
He always
yeah,
has
yeah.
his
Yeah.
brother and all here
Very
visiting.
true.
And
Yeah.
when we first tried to get him on the podcast, he wanted to do it with his brother.
Right.
So that
right.
makes me to believe that he would be more inclined to get into an altercation with his brother, even though that sounds hot. You know, I would like to hear the grunts of him. You know, but
middle-aged
How's that-
comedian. Like, what are you saying?
How's that niece doing? How's that niece doing that was making the airbags in
in
Malaysia?
Malaysia.
Oh, she's not with that company anymore.
All right.
All right, now I might have to change my vote.
So I think that the flight attendant is a lie.
You think I'm gonna say the flight attendant is a lie,
Yeah.
Darren?
I think the flight attendant thing is true.
Darren, I'm with you, buddy.
All right. What
Maybe
about
because
you,
we're
Kyle?
guys. We're like, we want it to be true.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want him to get it. Yeah.
But just like, was she like a tall chick? The flight attendant, was she tiny? Like, what was her? Because you're a big fella.
Petite.
Like, you're a tall fella, and to have sex in one of those little bathrooms. Was she a tiny lady?
She was very petite,
Yeah. What did she look like?
Asian.
He was going to Malaysia. He was.
Yeah.
He was.
I know.
Aren't the bathrooms? Aren't the bathrooms bigger?
Felicia
on
looks
those-
like she wanted to smack your face right there.
Yeah, I know Jessica. I would never hit Jessica because she would beat the fuck out of me.
Dude, wouldn't that be something to see, too? Darren, what was your question?
Oh, because I'm picturing like I fly a lot of. I mostly fly domestic, so I'm picturing like a small Southwest airline bathroom, and it's like there's no room in there,
No room must have been a tiny lady.
Was there
Yeah.
more room in the 90s?
and more room.
Shut up. Yeah.
No,
Yes.
tell us what it was like.
They
in
had
the
a bidet
90s.
in there. That's how much room in the 90s were in an airplane bathroom, Jessica.
I once got busy in an airplane bathroom.
It was the handicap bathroom stall, which gives you more room.
Okay, and it was an international flight, so yeah, bigger bathroom.
Wait a minute. I've never seen a
I've
handicap
never seen a
stall
handicap
on-
stall.
But I guess when you're flying though, like they have
Yeah,
bigger
that's why
bathrooms.
that is
I've
a
flown to
lie.
Malaysia. I don't remember there being a yeah.
You
I
flew to
can't-
Malaysia?
Yeah.
For what?
To go on vacation.
Photography.
Yeah, take pictures.
All right,
on
that
vacation.
checks out.
Yeah, like what?
I mean,
Had
any
to
other
pay
reason.
my
How
rent
dare
that
you?
year.
How dare you travel? How dare you leave America?
If your niece doesn't have a weird job in Malaysia, you got no business flying to that
All right,
place.
what are people online saying?
People online are saying, Jason Marino's flipping. He's going first lie, second true. So this has been convincing.
He's
this
saying
band.
he's
He
saying flight
said-
attendant true.
Yeah. No.
No,
First
first
lie.
one is a lie. He's saying the
First
flight
is-
attendant
flight
is a
attendant
lie.
is a
lie, okay.
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
he made it a lie.
So
Oh,
he's with
no.
us.
First, Kenneth Lofgren's with me. First true, second lie. Flight attendant true.
All right, Kyle, did I already ask you?
Yeah, I'm kind of changing a little bit. I think I'm gonna go with the flight attendant true because the second one just has so many variables. I don't know if I can get on board.
Yeah,
with
but that's him.
Yeah.
He's
And I
got-
bet his brother got the girl somehow.
he's
And
playing these mind games. I don't know. I'm gonna go first one true.
Fuck yeah, Kyle.
All right.
not a good move, I don't think.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Brian Holtzman, which story is the lie?
The first story is a lie. The second story is true.
Oh, I knew it. It was so silly. I don't want to say dumb because it's Holtzman, but it was so silly.
Yeah, so I have
Why do those random girls come into your room?
I don't know. It's a true story.
That's
They
why
banged
it's
on
like-
the door. I thought it was just one. Jay, I was on this bed. He was near the bed, near the door. He let her in. Then another one, she let, and then another one, and another one, and another one, and then it just hit me, and I just blew it. I blew my top.
Were they hookers? Were
That's
they?
gonna be
Were
Holtzman's
they?
new rap song, and then another one, and then another one, and then another
And
one.
another one. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you please do the song for Holtzman's crazy pool party
Yeah.
family reunion?
And another one. And another one. and another one. Jay, I'm gonna choke the fuck out of you. Choke. Bite.
Do you think they were
Killer.
pros? Those girls were pros?
No, I think they were just young girls with. They said they didn't have their room key or room pass.
Oh, so like they were on vacation. They
They
couldn't
were on
get into their
vacation.
room.
They were young, and
Did you guys have music playing and stuff? They thought it was a party vibe or something. Maybe.
no, they just needed to go to the freaking bathroom, I guess. And they were stupid enough to not have their key, or stupid enough not to go down in the lobby, and they
Yeah.
banged on the door.
Because I've never seen it happen before. It's so
Okay.
weird, right?
Yeah.
All
And he
right.
bit
It
me
makes
right
more
here on the
sense
forearm.
now.
The
Right.
whole thing. If he had bit me a little bit more, it would have bled. I'm on the train to New Jersey, and I'm looking at me, and I'm still. I can't believe. I'm thinking, is this thing going to be infected? You know how they say a human's mouth is dirtier than a dog? I'm going, am I going to get some kind of hepatitis 1, 2, and 3? It was horrible to be assaulted like that. A punch is a punch. I can take a punch all day long.
And that was 10 years ago.
But a bite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he bitten you since then?
No, he hasn't.
And that was about 10 years ago.
Maybe more the way time flies. It's already
Yeah, yeah.
2020 in the middle of January is almost over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for coming on here and playing our game and for playing along and for being good sports and all that
Thank you.
jazz.
Thanks for having
Now,
me. I
does
love
this
it.
qualify us to do the comedy show in the Valley?
We'll think about it.
You can do any show that we have. You can do any show. You just have to ask. Yeah. All right. So, not you, Darren. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Damn it.
I think Felicia was saying,
Now that the game is over, can now that the game is over, can we just have a regular podcast?
Yes.
Can we have a regular podcast where everybody is?
what's a regular podcast?
where we all talk about ourselves? Darren, will you talk about your podcast?
Oh, thank you, Felicia. My podcast is called Pocket Party, the Pocket Party Podcast. I'm up to 93 episodes.
Oh, good for you.
It's awesome. I love to do it. And how many episodes are you guys on now?
We're about 85.
Yeah.
Does it feel good? It feels
Yeah.
good because I know you used to do the one, The Beauty and the Beast. and
Yes.
It feels good to be back doing podcasting. And I
Yeah.
did podcasts back then, and then my partner went his way, and then I was like not doing a podcast for a long time, and to be back in it, it's
Uh-huh.
great. I like you're connecting with people.
I've
on
never
a
heard
different level. you know?
anyone say it feels good to do a podcast.
I know what you're saying because there's definitely that vibe of like homework where it's like, oh,
Yeah,
right, I gotta
a lot
get
of homework.
But I like it though, and I don't
Damn,
know,
it feels
I like
good to be a podcaster.
Exactly. Damn, it feels good to be
Who
a
knew
pod-
it would take off to such an extent?
Yeah, I mean, isn't it
Uh,
great though, guys? Like seriously, as comedians, to be able to like do this and not have to do like morning radio somewhere and all that.
I think it's great that comedians can do this, obviously, but I also think it was great back in the day when you could fucking float on an act for a decade and not have to write new jokes and you could make a living and you'd have to do
Yeah.
shit all day
Yeah.
except do radio. Yeah, so I think there's
You're right.
I think
Yeah.
there is great things, but also like, don't you, Brian?
Yeah, sure. And I bent her over, and I just banged her. I banged her. And he bit me, and he spit the flesh out, and he bit it some more.
Is there anything you would like to share about what you have coming up, Brian?
I'll be on Kill Tony tonight.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And the podcast, it's called Dead Air Podcast on the, what is it, Death Squad?
Death Squad.
That's good. It's great that Brian,
Red
Red
Band.
Band, is totally doing that for you. You guys are doing it together. It's so
I'm quite
great.
thrilled with that.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
professional. He really
yeah.
is.
It's wonderful. I'm
Not
happy
that-
for you
not-
both.
And what else? Oh, I'm going to be at Las Vegas at the Sands Hotel for, I think, an extended engagement. I'll be there from
I thought you didn't do the road.
21st and through 2021
Are you serious?
in the main room at the Sands Hotel. I'll be at the Riviera Hotel on January 17th.
And also he'll be back on Instagram. Right now you're
And I'm also going to be shot out of a cannon at
Oh, really?
the Dukenbach Circus that's making its way through. And I'm a liar because I'm on the Liars Club.
All
I'm on the fucking Liars Club. I'm lying. I'm on the Liars Club. I can't stop lying.
Kyle, what do you have shaking that you would like to talk
Oh,
about?
thank you.
the Sands. You guys know, I think they destroyed it, right? Didn't they?
I don't think that is anymore.
Yeah, they
was
blew it
like,
up. It's
what?
gone.
The Sands
Riviera.
Hotel was
The
torn
best
down.
joke I ever heard is from what's his name? The guy. I forget his name, but he has a joke, and he said he was at the Riviera performing, and he had the nerve. Barry
Diamond?
Barry Diamond. He said, audience, if you're real quiet, you can hear the sound of them drilling the holes for the dynamite at the Riviera.
Right.
You don't think that's funny?
Yeah, it's very funny.
I thought that's a great joke at the Riviera. At the Riviera.
Yeah, you got to think of you're at the Riviera.
Yeah, imagine you're there.
yeah.
That's a killer joke.
Kyle, is there anything you would like to share, Kyle?
Yeah, check out my podcast, Extremely Internet. We do stories about
Kyle?
internet history. And check
We
out.
can't hear Kyle.
You can't
I
hear
can't
Kyle?
Don't worry about it. We're about to be done, so you just
Okay.
probably
Somebody
get
pull
up.
my mic. Somebody pull my mic. Somebody shut my mic off. I can't hear Kyle. This is bullshit. I'm going to talk to the podcasting union. Who's your sponsor? Blue Bonnet what? Delivery service? Enough. And I never want to see your face again. Blue eyes. What are we, animals?
Take back dinner.
God.
All right. Anything else quickly there, Kyle?
Check out my backyard show, Kids in
Still
the Yard.
can't
We do
hear
it
him.
every month.
All right. What about you?
I'm in the main room at the Improv on Melrose tomorrow at 10:15.
Oh, good
Whoa,
for
way
you.
to
Yay.
Oh, real quick. I'll
Nice
be at
early
the.
spot. Way to go, man.
Go ahead, Darren.
I don't know if we can say improv here, but I'll be at the Irvine Improv Sunday, January 12th. Irvine headlining Sunday,
All right.
January 12th.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
Who are you working with? Anybody we know?
John DeResta, Brian Swinehart.
John
will be there.
Jaresta,
Yeah,
the
yeah. Are you
woodworker.
headlining?
Yeah, I met
Yeah.
him.
Are you headlining?
Yes.
Oh, you should ask me to do 7 minutes. Anyway, you can follow me all across the board at Felicia Michaels. If you have Amazon Prime, please go look at my documentary Pervs and leave
That's
a nice
awesome.
review. You can also go and see my comedy special. It's a confessional special, and it's a very personal story that happened to me growing up. And if you wouldn't mind taking a peek at that, if you're into that kind of thing, if you're angry and not into those kind of things, I get it. Go ahead.
I got a question for
Yes?
you. I love your writing. Have you ever written a book, and are you going to
That's
work
my
on
goal.
one?
That's my
Yeah.
goal this year is to write a book.
Because sometimes
Yeah.
I read those long blogs, and I like them. Like something about
thank
your
you.
a hidey hole in Kansas. and you'd
Yeah,
like
that's
to-
what my special is all about. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
But that's my
Yeah.
goal this year is to pretty much write a novel.
Yeah.
I've already started.
Write a love story
Write a love story
about an airplane.
About an airplane, and I'm a flight attendant.
And I was thinking,
You're a
whoever,
tall
even
drink
if I
of
did have a
water.
niece
And I
that
say, please help me with this paper towel. Please help
Dude,
me
that's so
insert
cool.
this paper towel.
I thought it was
And
all
then you're
beer.
like, me? Out of all these people here? Me? And I'm like,
Dear
yes,
penthouse letter.
you
Let me put
awkward
my-
tall man sitting in 2C.
Let me put my shoes back on.
All right. I'm sorry, Jessica. Go ahead.
I'm at Jess Wellington 2 on everything. You can follow me. We have some shows coming up. We have a show at the Ice House Friday the 10th. That's this Friday at 8:30. So be there. It's going to be fun. And then we have one at the Comedy Store in January as well. It's the 31st Friday, and it's at 8 o'clock. Come check us out. We've got some great lineups for these.
Yeah, and by the way, I really am liking how we're booking those shows. Like, we have a completely diverse lineup and with just killers, just really honestly killers.
Yeah.
Are the shows stand up, or is it Liars Club, or what is it?
It's
Both.
stand up, and then we do a little Liars Club at the end.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
That's it. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Felicia. Jessica.
I just acted out.
I know every time.
and you can't even remember
know.
my name.
It's horrible. Every time he comes to see me, he's like, your friend. I'm like, Felicia?
All right, rub it in.
Wait, is your name Michael Evans?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So it's like Felicia, Michael. It's like it kind of blends in. Like
So cool.
Felicia,
Yeah.
Michael Evans.
Yeah.
No
Hey,
way.
I know.
You didn't think of that?
That's great. That's great.
Maybe you can play that little game and remember my name.
Right.
Felicia, Michael.
Just picture if it was in a Riviera, though.
Ooh.
All right. And you have been lied to.
I'm not telling that one.
Disney believe you. Will the real liar please stand up?
She's totally serious.
And you have been lied to.